into that. This group.
There's all kinds of stuff you can get in under.
So I talked to Tom, and I said, maybe you should write me a letter and I'll get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm working towards the obesity.
BMI index.
What is, do you know what the standard is for that?
I don't know, but I think it's actually relatively low. Like what?
Well, the BMI index is so low. I mean, I'm obese by the.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah. So I mean, it's so low.
We're gonna call this meeting order, guys. All right, I am calling the Plan Commission of March 16th, 2021 to order. Roll call.
President Jay Langfeld,
Here.
Trustee Judy Kettleholder,
Here.
Commissioner Tatu Duquette,
Here.
Commissioner Randy Cate,
Here.
and Commissioner Eric Hedrow.
Here.
I will stand for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're at public comment. This is an opportunity for anyone to address the Plan Commission on any issue. Please observe the time limit of 3 minutes. For the Plan Commission encourages input from residents that may not discuss or act on any issue that is not duly noticed.
Yeah, I did not have anyone signed up for public comments at this time. And if you give me just a minute, I lost my mic here.
We're good.
We're good? All right, we'll go to general business. Discussion and possible action regarding the revised preliminary plat map. That's the single sheet one that you have in front of you.
That's correct. So the revised preliminary plat map was updated this afternoon. And what it does is it changes the northern boundary of the plat. Give me a second here, I can go to the exhibit. And move it southerly. The reason for that is through negotiation with the town of Erie for the jurisdictional transfer of North Hill Point Road. The town of Erie requested that the right-of-way for Stone Valley Road be deeded to them. And so here you'll see a map that shows a portion of the plat that is requested to be deeded over to the town of Erie. And the section that the village would receive as part of the jurisdictional transfer would be the eastern or north side of North Hill Point Road. And what that does is it establishes, provides the village the opportunity to have a developer reconstruct the whole width of the road to provide a better product. So you'll see that in the revised preliminary plat, that section along the north boundary has been removed, and the boundary of the plat right along the lot line compared to the old plat map where you have that extra space in between, which would have been dedicated to the road right away. We do have Ron Kloss and Jeff Lee here with us from the developer group, and Mike Slavy and Brian Bergquist on Zoom with us.
All right, does anybody have any questions on that?
Just, I understand the moving of the property line and everything, but do we need to be concerned with the potential of people putting in the driveway going out onto Stone Valley Road?
We, in the agreement?
Yeah, so as part of the agreement, the town requested and that there would be no driveways from this plat onto Stone Valley Road. And when reviewing the construction plan, the intention is for all of the lots along the north edge here to face Conrad Drive.
Okay. Any other questions?
My only question was just to confirm that there's no impact on any utility easements along the north side, which would usually be close to the edge of the plat.
Ron, are you able to answer that? Did surveying pick up any utilities in the right of way on Stone Valley? You're on mute, Ron.
There, it does not impact any utilities there, and we are providing a utility easement on the new lots for new electric to serve them.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept, what are you gonna say?
The revised
The
preliminary.
revised preliminary plat.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the revised preliminary plat map. Any other discussion?
Have all the edits been made? Bill, did you take a look at this compared to our previous meeting where we approved this?
Yeah, so we'll jump into that next when we talk about the revised final plan map.
Okay.
So the conditions and changes recommended at the last plan commission also were incorporated into the final.
Okay.
So we wanted to keep the revisions to the preliminary plat as minimal between the original and the revised.
Okay.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Carried. All right. We'll go to number 2, discussion and possible action regarding the revised final plat map. Since this one's a little bit more involved.
Yeah, so the final plat map incorporates the change in the north boundary, as you see here. It also incorporates the recommendations that we had at the March 1 meeting, suggested to a developer to input as it worked its way to the village board. Of those changes for the easement or the access easement off of this section of flat, my understanding is that the developer is working to move that the drainage onto Conrad Drive, I believe. And so my understanding that the easement on that side of the lots are no longer required. And Brian, you can let me know if that's true. He's nodding his head. The other items on the plat that were recommended include notes primarily in regards to the minimum opening elevations along lots, in-lots that are along the creek or along stormwater easements, and then you see that they have it here. These lots, 70 through 75, 76 and 77, and then 60, 57 through 69. We also requested, as required by CARC, to have them add 100 and 500 year flood events, and that's in there. And then I believe remaining items or notations be confirming the notes from the preliminary plat onto the final plat. And I believe one that was not added onto here included the wet ponds. And Ron, I'll let you explain that.
Bill, you wanted me to address the wet pond situation?
Yeah, so just as a reminder, we had requested that P note state that stormwater retention areas would be wet. And I believe we had a conversation with Brian and with DNR on the solution there.
Yes, we did, and the DNR was encouraging us to put a wet forebay at each end of this outlot 3 where the storm sewer discharges, and then put a dry basin in between. Their concern there was they did not want to discharge warmed up water from a wet pond directly into Brewery Creek. So with this new design that we've proposed, the wet ponds would discharge the small rain events into this dry basin that would soak into the ground, and then the under drains would gradually leach that out to the creek, but it would be cooled due to running underground. So that is the current proposal for the stormwater management. However, that does mean there will still be 2 wet ponds, and I'm not sure we've included that note as requested, Bill. I couldn't read what you had on the screen very well.
No, it's staying here, it's not. And so we need to add, there's 2 things I'd like to add related to that. You have in outlot 3, it says dedicated to the public. Underneath that, I'd like it to say stormwater retention area, right underneath it. So while it's dedicated to the public, that's the purpose of it. And then in the notes, I would put retention areas could be wet. So there's no doubt in anybody's mind what that area is going to be used for and what they could do.
We don't have any problem adding that note, Jay, so we'll get it done.
All right. Anything else on the stormwater in that area? Otherwise, I have one other note I'd like to add. I guess the other note I'd like to add there is lot 56 is zoned MR8. I'd like that to be on here so there's no doubt what that is zoned.
Right. Okay.
Anybody else? Kevin?
There was a bridge on the previous plat, southwest corner, near lot 59, that is not on this map.
Talking about the final plat.
Yeah, exactly. Final, I don't see it there either.
Here, what is it? I think I'm looking.
Yeah, the final plat's the one that's multiple pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not there. But it was on this one here. from last- Oh.
Ron, you know, we're talking about that one that goes to the Heffron property.
Yeah, we discussed it, right? Yeah, it shows on the preliminary plat.
Yeah. Yeah, the village had asked us to show the path network on the preliminary plat. So that is what you're seeing there. And typically those construction items are not shown on the final plat. They're also shown on the construction plans. So that,
Thanks, Ron.
Any other questions for Ron? All right, do I have a motion?
Also moved.
Who did that?
Right.
Randy. And is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, so I have a motion and a second to approve the revised final plat map with
Notes.
with changes in the note. All right, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. So move. All right. Do I have a motion for adjournment? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, a motion and second to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you guys all for coming.
Yeah, thank you all.